The first thing that goes through your head when you hear something that unexpected is disbelief. Leave this earth. You know, what's the point of it all? I don't know if people just, they have this feeling like they're going to pass soon. He said to me, thank you for... I needed an anchor point.
Lay hold of it. You lay hold of it.
So you can make some progress forward.
Looks like that might be worth living. And when that thing tells you to quit, you look at it in his eye and say, I ain't going nowhere.
You find the meaning that sustains you in life, and you find the patterns of action that redeem the world, both at the same time.
Where we collectively discover light in life's darkest moments. Mainstay Podcast. Hi, so quick disclaimer before this video starts. This is not a normal episode. Normally I have guests on here and we are working on getting a second mic so I can have them with me here in person instead of remote. If you want to support us in that endeavor, we have a Patreon. Link will be in this video right here. Otherwise, it's Mainstay on Patreon. And yeah, thank you for watching. This one's going to be shorter than usual, and it does involve death. So thank you for watching and enjoy. So I lost someone this week, or Jim lost someone this week. And I'm not sharing this for sympathy. I'm not doing this for any other reason other than reflection for everyone who may be listening and myself. I think it's important to think about the finality of things, but also I really want to share the aspects of things I've been thinking about since. I think it's important. So to bring you up to speed, this week was my dad's birthday. My dad passed 2 years ago. And I've been thinking about his life. I don't like to think about his passing. I like to move forward with my life, and I like to... It's hard for me to look at pictures, really. It's really hard for me to reflect, but it's important, so I make sure to not neglect it. But that same day, after I was on my break, because I work mornings and I work nights at the gym as a fitness trainer, I was walking in. I weirdly didn't have service for about 30 minutes to an hour. And as soon as I got back to the gym, I got a text. I had service again. And the text was, I have 2 clients from the same family, and I train them together and somewhat separately at times. And I got a text from his wife that said that he had tragically passed from an accident. The first thing that goes through your head when you hear something that unexpected is disbelief, and then shock. And after the shock, it's just, I had to get to work. So it's, well, how can we move forward right now? And then you start to think about the last moments you shared with them. What were the last things he said? What was our last session like together? He was the same age as my dad. He was, for their privacy, I'm not going to say who he was or anything else, but it just makes you think about the finality of life. I don't remember exactly the words he said to me much. I don't remember what workouts I gave him. I remember how he made me feel. And I remember the feelings of our last sessions together and the sessions we did. And it does make you think, like, how could I have been better? there's a lot of things we can do in life, but as a fitness trainer, I want to make every session enjoyable for the person I'm training. And a lot of times I struggle with feeling doubts about myself and maybe feeling regrets about how could I have made that a better experience for them. But this one really got me. This one really, really got me. One of the things that we've been working on together was taking pain off of his knees. And I was thinking about that and just wondering, like, God, why did I do that? Why did I help him if he was just going to leave this earth? What's the point of it all? So I reached out to Rami and David with Alloy Training, and I just was like, guys, what are your thoughts? Because as trainers, I think my job is to help people live longer, and we can't even control that. We can't control if someone is in a tragic accident or the string of decisions that led to that moment. We can't control that. So what's the point? They said something really cool to me. We can't get around the sadness and tragedy. Expressions of sincerity and love is the advice I'd give. We can't guarantee to add years to anyone's life, but we can guarantee to add life to their years. We can't guarantee we're going to add years onto anyone's life, but we can guarantee to add life to their years. And then they said, I try to make it a point to always thank people and appreciate them, because we never know if we'll ever see them again. Which is exactly right. The rest of the day, every session I did with people, every time I interacted with people, I tried to make them feel appreciated. And that's all we can do. I remember the last few sessions I had with I don't know if people just, they have this feeling like they're going to pass soon, or I don't even know. There were like a lot of things with my dad's death too, where things were just set in order. It was very strange. Like a lot of things were settled before he passed. It was like he was at peace within himself spiritually before he passed. But regardless, this client, when he would talk to me, like I said, he was the same age as my dad. And there were a lot of times when I was training him, I would think about that. And he said to me around this time last month, thank you for working on my knees. And he just thanked me because all of the pain that he had in his knees was gone. And he would wear a knee brace a lot when we first started training. And at that point, I'd been really getting on him, like, get your protein, get your water, get your sleep, make sure to do this and that. And those are the things where I'm like, why? What was the point? And so struggling with that, it made me realize I can't live like that. I can't live stuck in this zone of like, well, if we're going to die, what's the point? If we're going to die anyway, what's the point of it all? Seriously, like, what's the point? Why do I need to train if I'm just going to die tomorrow? But that is something I've been thinking about. I know it's not helpful to think that way, but it's almost like sometimes when you think things, you can't really get out of that cycle. You can't really get out of thinking in the same way. It's like, well, what's the solution to that? Because we are going to die. And we can add life to the years, but there still is that just little part of me that's still like nagging and disappointed and hurt. I was at the gym this morning, waiting on a client, and I looked beside me and it was his wife, and she was standing there. I was so surprised to see her because I didn't think she'd be back, honestly. A lot of people don't come back to the gym after they've experienced tragedy or a death. She was ready to train, so I trained her. And she told me that her and Pat would talk about me and know I'd be moving on eventually to better things than training at this gym, which was really sweet. And then she thanked me because the last few months of his life, he had no knee pain. And he hadn't complained about it. He was doing more things. He was active. He was able to rely on medications less. And it really made me believe that it's true. We can add years. Maybe. We can't control the day someone's gonna pass, but we can add life to the years, and that we can guarantee. So I just wanted to share that. Any day above ground is a good day. And I know one of my life purposes is to add life to the years of those around me. And I hold on to peace inside myself as much as I possibly can to ensure that I can give that to others. And when I let go of that, I can tell that I'm not happy. Those around me aren't happy. Even my dog's not happy because Lord knows I can lose my patience with him. But when I have that drive within me, that purpose to maintain composure and serve those around me, I feel and know and believe that that is one of my purposes here on earth. And it makes me get up in the morning. So I wanted to share that. And that is definitely one of my mainstay drivers in my life. That is a mainstay. If you'd like to join our Patreon, please do. It's Patreon Mainstay. Yeah, help us get on Apple Podcasts. Help us get on there. We're not able to do that yet, but we're on Spotify and YouTube. So thank you very much. See you in the next one. Stay mainstay.